A lot to talk about in today's video. We're going to get to the Trump news, but Bitcoin price action on the daily, just absolutely beautiful. I should say beautiful if you're a macro bull and you see what is happening right now on these charts. ADA on the daily as well as the weekly. I want to discuss price action. I want to take a glance at XRP. Kind of, I think, helps tell a little bit of a story of what's going on right now in terms of crypto price action. Hit the subscribe and like on the way in. Let's jump into the video. And I want to start actually, before we check out this clip of Trump and what happened today at the Crypto Summit, I want to start here. Crazy how many people are underestimating the fact that America has a pro-crypto president just because President Trump didn't deliver them 100x gains in his first 60 days. Pro-crypto America isn't even priced in yet. This was yesterday I posted this. And now my thought here, it's an overdrive. I 100% want to just echo what I just said. Wendy made a good point. It's actually scary to see because of the lack of critical thinking and patience. Check out this 7-second clip from Trump today, and then let's talk about it.
Together we will make America the undisputed Bitcoin superpower and the crypto capital of the world. Together.
I actually already recorded this video and I'm redoing it because I didn't like my tone. I want to just say this with full respect and love. I don't understand. I really genuinely am having trouble comprehending how anybody could really have a bearish take on what is happening right now. I realize there have been tons of rumors. Crypto capital gains tax, zero tax on crypto is going to be announced today. Like this has happened multiple times now with Trump getting ready to say something. And consistently it just doesn't happen. That's not a Trump problem. That's a crypto problem on X. And again today I saw there was a ton of rumors. And by this point I was numb to it and realized those are rumors. Maybe the market makers are spreading those things. I don't know. But I realized that we're not getting this massive, just like crazy shock of news. But do you understand what's on your screen right now? That is a pro-crypto president. And I say this often. It was just months ago. We had an administration that wanted to absolutely destroy crypto. They wanted to see you lose and fail. We had the anti-crypto army led by SEC and Gary Gensler. They wanted to see all of us fail and the industry fail. Now we have a president who stepped into the office, and whether or not he's been impermeable for all these years, because he hasn't, it was years ago he wasn't even liking crypto. Doesn't matter. He promised something and he kept the promise, and he has leaders like David Sachs surrounding him to implement pro-crypto policy. If you don't see why that is such a big deal on the macro, I just genuinely don't know what else to say. And I'm flabbergasted that it's even unpopular to be bullish that we have a pro-crypto president. And that is evident in my comments. People are not happy with what you see on the screen. And for that, I just can't comprehend. But I agree with Wendy. I think it's a lack of critical thinking. I think it's a lack of zooming out. And it's all you really have to do is zoom out on the industry and the space, not just the charts. Zoom out on the story that is happening right now before our eyes. I say often, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be in this space. Let's talk about Bitcoin, and then we'll look at ADA and XRP charts. So Bitcoin on the daily, it's such a beautiful setup, everybody. I'm not going to show a clip, but I found this. This is from early February. We were 98,000 on Bitcoin, and we were talking about the potential for the throwback to the neckline into the 70s. And just look at the setup. I mean, as a technical analyst, this gets me excited. And I say time and time again, put aside the headlines. Doesn't matter who's president even. The setup and the move is so normal. But now we're in this landscape. And I want to keep saying this until we get some type of price action. And we're going to actually talk about what to anticipate in terms of Bitcoin price action, the bottoming out formation, maybe a little bit more chop, maybe a little bit more downside, another lower low. But if you can just, for a moment, understand as we look at these charts, what is happening from the monetary cycle perspective. Quantitative tightening, as we just saw yesterday, is getting ready to slow down, ultimately come to an end, and the expansion of the Fed balance sheet around the corner, likely, while the dollar is falling. The setup right now that is happening for crypto on the macro is incredible. And this is why I say I'm grateful for the opportunity. That's even if we see more downside. Let's talk about what that could look like for Bitcoin. We've seen the throwback, right, to the neckline. It's not abnormal if, especially on the higher time frames, we kind of tested the trend line multiple times, if not wick below it. So with that being said, I was looking at this consolidation that we had, if you remember the 8-month consolidation on Bitcoin, and I'm just, you can't just look at a previous chart and say, hey, it's going to happen exactly the same. We'd like to speculate, get visualization. It's a good exercise. But I was looking at something. The 20-day crossing below the 50-day, and right now kind of just like trying to bounce off the 200-day, the red line. This is what happened back here. The 20 crossed below the blue 50, and then actually just bounced right off that 200. And you can see that really nice move bottoming out below the 200, the move back up above moving averages, and then we went lower. We're kind of like in this area. We bottomed out below the 200. We're trying to break back above the moving averages, and so far it's failed. There's no guarantee we would make the similar move like we did right here and get back above these moving averages. But I will say we're in a very similar kind of like formation and a very similar structure. So whether or not Bitcoin makes the move, another swing high, maybe to test the 50-day moving average, just around 91,000, or not, there's a case we go lower on the very short term. And I'm bringing that up because on the macro, you start looking at things like the zoomed out daily, or you start looking at the weekly. On the macro, this would be a normal move. Notice where the 50-week moving average is. It's in the 70s, right? Testing that area, wicking below that area would be a normal move. And I'm bringing that up because, again, we're waiting for certain things to happen. The beginning of April with tariffs, and we're waiting for the continued kind of pricing in of the Fed meeting yesterday and markets reacting to kind of the macro end of quantitative tightening. We have to keep an eye on traditional markets as well. But right now, the macro setup for all of these charts going into a bullish monetary cycle is looking phenomenal. And I say that with the potential for another swing low in play on Bitcoin. Let's go over and look at altcoins. And by the way, I mentioned this in yesterday's video. I saw this post. Historically, years 2 and 3 post ETF launch are massive. And I just want to just very quickly preface the charts on ADA and XRP because we are at that beginning phase of ADA and XRP. So as I'm zooming in on charts, I'm thinking multi-year for crypto, right? Multi-cycle for crypto when I'm talking about these charts. And that, ETFs play into that story as well. And what we just saw, 2 to 3 years after ETFs. Okay? So we're just at the beginning. With that being said, ADA on the monthly, I've been kind of tracking this kind of super trend line. There's just a couple points that I want to, make note of. Right now, what's happening on the monthly is we're getting this kind of, you see this pink line? It's a moving average line. RSI on the monthly trying to bounce off of that area. If you notice, last time this happened after kind of exiting a bear was right here. And it was this move right there. And you can even see the 20-month moving average, 20-month moving average. It becomes even more evident the similarities of these moves on the weekly. And there's no surprise, we've been already covering this, right? And right now what I'm watching for, and I know I've mentioned this before, it is the continued consolidation below the 20, above the 50, very similar to that move on the weekly. There could be volatility for ADA to the downside. You can see this 50-week moving average, 59 cents. But taking that a step further, if you look at the daily, ADA right now kind of just hanging on at this 200-day moving average. So if Bitcoin starts falling, if crypto starts falling, I don't know exactly where the bottom would be for ADA. But what I do want to mention is if we go back to the zoomed out, we have this kind of trend line down here. You can just see the bottom end of the trend line is like in the 40s. Maybe that's where it is for ADA. It's already high fear. ADA and crypto in general, I think, is getting very, very kind of in that oversold environment. We might need more capitulation. I don't know. Retail, I would say, is getting very, very worn out. And I don't want to say that's a good thing, but historically that's a bullish indicator. And when we get in these oversold, high fear, retail worn out environments. So, and that's why you always hear the story. you know, people joke around. If people sell their crypto and then crypto bounces, it's because they get into such pain and they're done with it. They want to be over. But that was the time where, you know, smart money, big money, likely buying. It's kind of where we are entering in crypto in general. And even on this ADA chart, that could be in this territory. And I'm just trying to lay that out just as kind of an anticipation for potential downside if Bitcoin does start falling. With that being said, the biggest thing on this chart that on the short term that we can watch for is the previous bear market low to the bull market high. And it is this Fibonacci range. This is very short term that I'm bringing this up but it's a macro indicator. We need to break above this channel. Massive, lines up very closely to the bull market doors that we've been tracking. But look at the resistance at the upper end. Look at where it is. It's the 20-week moving average rejection going into the bear market. It is such a key area, that 125. But to the downside, we are testing support. And you can just see we've been testing support, previously testing it as resistance. That is the 786 part, or the 786 line of the Fibonacci. So very critical area where ADA is right now, literally around 70 cents. Let's see how the weekly candle closes on ADA. That's kind of what I'll be watching over the next 3 to 4 days as we kind of get ready to see how this weekly candle closes. But ultimately, remember, compared to last cycle, we're looking for at least weekly closes above the 50-week moving average around 59 cents. We'll continue to monitor. One thing on XRP chart I wanted to bring up. XRP chart looking strong, by the way. There's no telling what happens. Crypto could fall. XRP could fall with it and finally test the 200-day moving average. Be prepared for volatility, everybody. But isn't it interesting the way in which the market reacted to the SEC news yesterday? Nice big green candle and already starting to give up those gains. Let's monitor the 20-day moving average, you know, support around 236 or so, like 4 cents or so from where XRP is right now. But at the end of the day, I think what I'm saying is, number one, a lot of manipulation and suppression in these markets. And that just is what it is, no matter the bullish news. And it seems that no matter the bullish news, until crypto is ready to pump, and maybe that has a lot to do with what Fed is doing and liquidity coming into markets and all that good stuff. But until crypto is ready to pump, and I just changed my chart right there, until crypto is ready to pump, everybody, it's just going to be suppressed. And XRP is a great visualization of that on this XRP chart. So that's it. That's Bitcoin. That's altcoins. That's the Trump news. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I appreciate each and every one of you. I really do. Subscribe, turn notifications on. If you enjoyed the video, smash the like button. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.